Is it wires? Like, what do you use?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It's Black Girl Magic.
Oh. I'm here with hairstylist, model, content creator, and artist, Kayra Theodore.
Hi.
Hello. I feel like your name should be said in a British accent.
Really?
Like Kayra Theodore.
Well, it's actually
like
pronounced
Kayra.
Kayra.
Yeah. You told me that because you speak French.
Yeah.
Me too. I love that. Okay, let me correct myself. I'm here with Kayra Theodore. I'm so excited that you're here today.
Me too. I'm excited
I am
to be here.
Fully obsessed with you. Fully obsessed with you, your hair, your art. And yeah, Kayra has become very well known for her beautiful creative hairstyles. You even grabbed the attention of Tracy Ellis Ross, and you did a campaign for her brand Pattern. I loved that. So first of all, we just need to know, how do you even achieve these beautiful gravity-defying hairstyles? Like, what's the secret?
That's a great question. I think the secret for me is expression. Like, I kind of go off of inspiration and then also whatever I'm in the mood kind of feeling. So whatever my emotions are in the moment, or like something that I want to convey, that's what drives any style that I do.
I love that. Yeah. And then, so how do you actually like craft it? Like, is it wires? Like, what do you use?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It's Black Girl Magic.
Oh, you heard it right here. It's Black Girl Magic. We don't expose our secrets.
We don't. Well, I would be open to tutorials in the future, but for now I'm kind of writing.
Yes, that's smart. Capitalize off
exactly.
of it. That's very smart. So Kayra and I actually walked in a show together in New York Fashion Week, and that's how we met. Yeah. And I swear, everywhere Kayra went, everybody was complimenting her left and right, admiring her, understandably. So what is it like when you go out in public with these hairstyles? Like, what kinds of reactions do you get?
I get a lot. I feel like the biggest reactions that I get is like, oh my gosh, like, whoa, you know, like that type of reaction. So now I'm getting more used to it, I guess, because being on social media and posting more, people are recognizing me.
Yes.
So it's like, it's cool to kind of just see people. Like, the reaction that sticks out to me the most is once I went to the city just to, you know, hang out by myself, and there was a bus full of like Black children, and one girl, she just ran to the front. She was like, oh my gosh. I mean, I was worried, like, y'all should be sitting down, you know? Like, maybe you guys should have your seatbelts on, but like to see everyone just kind of like pointing and like, you know, I don't know, that was just such a like wholesome reaction that I received. So those are usually the reactions that I get from people.
I love that. Yeah, just amazement, astonishment. Yeah, oh my goodness. So where do you get the inspiration for your hairstyles? Because I know I looked on your socials, and one of them, you called it like a Medusa snake braid hairstyle. So where do you get the inspo?
Sometimes from anime. Sometimes if you go on Pinterest, you could just look up like editorial hairstyling for like African American textures, because of course, like, I could do straighter hair textures, but like I want to honor, like, you know, our texture. Like, that's not something that you see people work with easily. So that's kind of like my specialty and what I like lean towards. I also get inspired by, a lot of people feel like hair has to look perfect. Like, every strand has to be in this. Like, even if you zoom in looking now, like, you could still see like the imperfections in it. So it's just like really leaning into like, our texture is perfect no matter what it does. So allowing my hair to kind of do what it does, even as I try to like give it structure. So just like trusting that sense.
Yes.
So literally anything can inspire me. Like, it could be the shape of a tree that kind of inspires like the direction that my hair kind of goes in, or maybe, you know, of course you can manipulate texture, but I don't use heat to manipulate it at all, because I want to trust like and love the way my hair is like born, you know, the way it,
Oh my God, I love that so much. Because I think about this a lot, whereas like for me, because I have type 4 hair, something that I struggled with a lot was like doing my edges. Oh my gosh, I found it so difficult to get them to lay the way I wanted to, or the way that I was seeing other people, you know, lay their edges. And like, I kind of realized, like, why do we have to lay our edges? Like, why do we have to manipulate our hair in a way that it doesn't want to go? Like, that's, you know, like, embrace the way that it looks naturally. I think that that's so powerful. And I love how you get inspiration from external sources, because it shows that like creative hairstyling really is an art form. Because like the same way in which like a painter would like find inspiration in nature or like life experiences. Like you get inspired by different things and you use that to create art on your head. Like that is just so beautiful. So I noticed that you also get some hate on your socials, which really shocked me because like, why? But yeah, so how do you deal with people who are like making fun of your hair, telling you that you shouldn't wear your hair like this in public?
I laugh. Oh my gosh, I feel like humor is the best way to kind of like get through it for me. I would say growing up, I always express myself through different like ways. So I would, like in art class, I feel like I excelled a lot because it was just like anything where I could create, like that's why this comes natural to me. And a lot of people kind of looked at me like, why is she doing so much? She's so extra, like all those things. And for a long period of time in school, I kind of stopped like expressing myself through that way. And as I got older, I just kind of would see hints of it trying to peek out, and it wouldn't, like I wouldn't express it. And it's just like, why not? And it was because of outside factors. So then I got to a point of just realizing like, why am I holding myself back because of what other people think? Because whether you do it, they have an opinion. If you don't do it, they have an opinion. So it's like, when am I going to start living for myself? When am I just going to start being like myself?
Yes.
And so as I continued this journey and people, you know, yeah, there are a lot of hate comments. And sometimes it doesn't just have to do with my hair. It's like just about looks, which you can't even control. Like, this is my genetics. This is how I was born. Like, I don't know. What else do you want me to do? Right. You know, like, I don't know. Yeah. So the best way that I combat it is say, like, I was just born like this. Like, my mind thinks like this. I am the happiest when I do these things. Like, this is just me. So if you don't like it, you don't have to like it.
Yeah.
You don't. Like, it's not my job to convince you. But for those who do love it, I notice that a lot of the positive that I get is people kind of sitting here like, wow, I feel so inspired that you're doing this thing. Even if I don't like what you're doing, but the fact that you're doing it, whatever it is that I want to do in my life, like I have the confidence to achieve that, you know, despite what anybody else thinks. And that's like the main thing, just really living for yourself and doing that. Of course, I wouldn't do anything that would, you know, cause harm onto other people. Like I take that into consideration, but ultimately I am going to do what makes me happy and being true to myself. And thankfully that helps inspire like a lot of people. So that kind of overrides any, I laugh at the negative stuff. Like, this is funny. Like, you know, like,
just being unapologetic about what you want to do at the end of the day. No, I dealt with that too. I dealt with like hair hate online because I used to make hair videos too. Like I used to, this was back in like 2020. Like I have 4C hair. I have like kinky, coarse, coily 4C hair. Like I know my hair. And I remember I was making these like 4C hair tutorial, like natural hair videos, and for the most part they got a lot of love, but there were also like people who started attacking me and telling me that I didn't have 4C hair and that I was like, you know, just saying that to get views and basically taking advantage of the 4C hair community, which really like low-key hurt my feelings because I was just like, it's already hard enough to have type 4 hair and actually like love your hair and work with it in its natural state. So yeah, what's been your experience with that, with just learning how to love your hair?
Oh man, it's so growing up, my parents, they came from Haiti, and a lot of immigrants, when they come to America, they try their best to assimilate with American culture, you know? So with my parents, specifically my mom, I feel like she didn't grow up like loving her hair, like, and it's not intentional to pass that down, but sometimes if you don't break out of it, if you don't recognize like how to fix it, it comes through in your children as well. So I just remember I was in Catholic school all my life, and a lot of the students that I went to school with, they were white. So I just remember always being made fun of, like, for even if I wish I could put up like a baby picture, like how my hair, like the styles my mom did. I was so embarrassed because in my head it's like no one else had bows and had like different pigtails, like, you know, no one had that, and people made fun of me for that. And so when I was old enough to do my own hair, I started straightening my hair. And we all know how that goes. You just straighten it and your curls kind of die like after you do it for so long. It wasn't until I went to college, that's when I saw other people wearing their hair naturally, and I'm like, wait, let me give that a shot. And so I kind of fell into, you know, wearing my afro like here and there. There were moments where I hated it, you know, I'm just like, this is so ugly, like no. But then it's like, no, this is my hair, like this is my hair naturally. You know, don't hide behind extensions, straightening and all that stuff. So I just got to a point of like wanting to put in the work to loving it.
Yeah.
So if you want to do it, if you want to change your mindset, it'll happen over time. It's not like overnight you just love your hair magically. You have to put in the work, you know? So I just had to grow into that self-love for my own hair. And now my hair and I, we're like this. Like I love it. Like it's just, it's so magical. Like once you cross that bridge, you know? So I don't regret anything, because I don't know if I would love my hair or if I'd have the same like view on it as I did back then, you know, or
if you didn't do that work.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's so true. Oh my God, I can relate to that so much, because I grew up in predominantly white schools too. And my mom used to put, like, I had a lot of hair when I was younger. She would just put my hair in these 2 big poofs. And people at school would tell me, oh, she looks like Minnie Mouse.
Oh
and
my God.
I don't even know, you know, as a child, like, things just, you know, you think everything is just such a big deal. And that used to, like, I used to be so extremely embarrassed to have my natural hair out. So I went through a really similar journey when I was like 17, 18, just like learning how to love my natural hair. But, you know, sometimes I think about the whole, like, hair naming system that we've come up with, like the 1, 2, 3, 4 ABC. And I don't know, like, I think it's a great way for you to find other people to relate to. And, you know, I think it has its benefits, but I also sometimes am like, is it necessary? Like, because I saw firsthand, like, people coming for me saying, oh, you don't have 4C hair, you have 4B hair. And it's like, does it really matter? So, like, I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Ooh, I can understand like the logistics of it. Like when I go into doing someone else's hair, like I treat every texture differently. So there's maybe a group of textures where it's like, oh, okay, like this product would go better with your texture versus like the other. But when it comes to everyone just being so nitpicky between like the letters, for example, like for me, I know my hair's in the 4s, but I don't know exactly like what letter. Like some people have like the top is 4A and then the back is 4B or whatever it is. But it's like, even if you put together 2 people with 4C hair, it's still different. It'll never be exactly the same, because no one is exactly the same. So I think that just embracing that, like, there is a plethora of textures, and we can honor that, hey, like we relate with our textures, even if it's not exactly the same. Like we still go through some similar things, you know? So I don't know, I'm not picky with it. I don't think people should be too picky with it unless you're like a hairstylist trying to like really, you know, learn people's hair. But outside of that, like why argue, you know?
Yeah, I know, I totally agree with that. Have you heard that sound on TikTok that's like, for a Black woman to wear her natural hair is a declaration of power and pride. Have you heard that?
I did.
Okay, yeah. So like, I love that. I love that sound. I love hearing people, you know, embrace natural hair. But sometimes I'm like, it gets a little bit exhausting to like, every time I wear my natural hair, why does it have to be like a declaration of like, of strength and resilience? Like sometimes I just want to wear my hair and it just be like, not so much emphasis on it. Do you ever feel that way? I don't know.
Sometimes I do. I think about like the history of like our hair. Like you can't run away from that history, you know? So in that sense, I think that gives me encouragement to wear my hair like loud and proud. I think that regardless of what you do with your hair, like to me, I'm not against straightening hair. Like even if I don't personally try to do that, you know, like I think whatever you choose to do with your hair, like that's the power that you have, like the control, like just being able to do what you want with it. You know what I mean? So, you know, it doesn't have to be like this huge weight on your back that you're carrying when you go out. Like it can be fun, it can be light. It's like the lightness of the power that you have is knowing that you can do whatever you want with it, and it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, so that's so true. Just the idea that, you're right, you have to look at the historical context, because there was a point in the United States where Black women couldn't even wear their natural hair out. And I see the significance in that, and I understand, you know, what it means to even be able to rock our natural hair. It's a big deal. So which hairstyle do you feel most confident in?
Ooh. You know, even to this day, I still am working on having confidence with my afro, which is crazy because I love it so much, but I still, you know, like those feelings of what I grew up with, like they never go away completely. But I do feel the most confident in any type of braid style, I would say. Especially like these types of styles, just because it just feels so me. It feels unique to me. And I don't know, I don't want to say like my natural hair can't express like what I'm feeling on the inside, but I don't know, there's like a control in it that I have where it's just like I'm kind of giving someone a narrative.
Yes.
You know, the narrative that I want. And that's something that I feel like I never got to do growing up. So I get to do that with my hair without even speaking. I walk into a room and you can kind of see or kind of get a sense of me without knowing me per se.
Yeah.
So I'm the most confident in like braiding styles.
Yeah, no, that is so true. That me too. I'm most confident when I have my braids, whether it's cornrows or box braids. And it's just so true that like when you have type 4 hair, you feel like you don't have control over your hair.
Yeah.
Because it is like, it has a mind of its own. It does what it
Yep.
wants to do.
It will,
Like,
yeah.
No, truly. So it's like, I get it, but I think that it is really important to like unpack why we feel comfortable, you know, in certain hairstyles, or why we feel more desirable or more acceptable in certain hairstyles, you know, especially as models. Like, what has been your experience, you know, with these hairstyles in the modeling industry?
Ooh, oh, that's a interesting question.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot of people love it, like photographers, just because I think with modeling, there's one side of it where they want you to be a blank canvas. So you're not supposed to have your hair like done, like you need to be in your most natural state. But on the flip side, they also want models now who stand for something or have something about them that stands out from everyone else. And I kind of feel like there's a little conflict in that for me, because of course I want to work for big brands and they typically want you to be a blank canvas. But I'm trying to push the narrative of, hey, let me add something.
Yes.
You know, like a model can add something to the creative vision besides just their body. And that's something that I'm trying to push for. So I would love to be able to do my own hairstylings for runway shows, for campaigns, for stuff like this. I would love to be able to, you know, just add that touch, because we're more than just a number, we're more than just a face, you know, like we do things on the side which can be incorporated in a creative work, because the point of creativity is to bring ideas, to be able to make exactly. So it's like we can collaborate in different ways. Dang, not me getting lost with the question.
No, you answered it perfectly.
Oh, okay,
like,
okay.
I love that, absolutely. Do you feel like your hair ever gives you an advantage in the modeling industry, or do you feel like it makes it harder sometimes for you?
Both. Sometimes it is a plus because people are like, oh my gosh, like I want you to come up with something for, you know, me. So it adds that uniqueness to their project that they might not have had. Like, not that they wouldn't have that before, but it's like it just adds to it. Versus other things, I think people tend to take advantage of it, which is the negative side of being able to have this. Like, if I'm modeling and you're paying me to model, also pay me to hairstyle too. Like, I'm taking on two roles. It's not a 2-for-1 deal, you know? Like, that's not how it works. And I think because being Black too, in that space, they try to take advantage of that even more, you know? So I've had like different cases where I try to navigate that and work through it in a nice way too, because of course I understand that people, sometimes their intention isn't bad with that, but it's like, okay, let me just educate you and let you know, like, hey, like, you know, if I didn't do my own hair, you'd be paying a hairstylist. So out of fairness. But besides that, like, I've had decent experiences.
No, that's great. How do you go about maintaining the health of your hair when you're manipulating your hair so much, experimenting with these new styles and techniques?
I don't. I think the thing about our hair is it's resilient. It can be. I know some textures can struggle a little bit, but for the most part, it's resilient. I'm not going to be ripping through with a comb. Like, I'm going to take my time. Like, if you have patience, I feel like you'd be able to, because my turnover time for hairstyling, it's quick. Like, usually like every week, sometimes every few days. It can be bad. Like, ideally, that's not what you should do with your hair. But because I know my hair so well, I can kind of work around that. So really, like, knowing your hair, you have to take the time to like understand what works, what doesn't work, products, all of that, and that can help you like figure out what's the best, despite if you do a lot of manipulation to your hair. Because I can't, it's hard for me to have a style in for like a month. I used to, but now I don't know, I need something new, fresh.
I feel that. I get so tired of having the same hairstyle. And that's one thing that I get tired of with the modeling industry, going back to that whole blank canvas thing. It's like, I'm bored.
I know.
I don't want to have cornrows in my head every single day of my life. Like, I want to try something new. So yeah, I totally get that. I feel like your hair really, like, you know, it makes a statement on the greater conversation of like self-expression and representation when it comes to Black hair in the beauty and the fashion industry. So what message do you want to send out when you do these hairstyles, when you make your videos, to the world? And what do you want your hair to say about you?
I want my hair to show people that they can, like, not to be afraid to step out of the box. I think that would be the main thing, because I know a lot of people might have all these ideas and you don't really see it every day on a daily basis, and you think, oh no, like what if someone says this, what if that, like it might be too much, whatever. But just having the confidence to step over that and just go for it. Because I always say, like, in life, I don't know what the meaning of life is. I don't, you know, we're all like here trying to figure it out. We're all trying to find purpose and all of that. So I think in one way, like this for me is a way that I can kind of help people without directly, because I can't help every single person on this world, but anyone who might come across my stuff might think, oh my gosh, like why would she wear that out in public? Why not? Like, why not have that confidence to do something different that you want to do, you know? So that's kind of what I hope people kind of take out of like when they see me doing my hair. It's like, if you have an idea, go for it, try it out. Sometimes the people might not like it. They might see it and be like, what the heck? Like, that's ugly. Like, no, but you're not doing it for the opinions of others. Like, that's something I always have tried to get away from, like not worrying about what other people think. So I can go down the streets of New York and wear my hair like this and feel cool, like not even think twice about it, not worry about people staring, looking, opinions, none of that. Because at the end of the day, even if you have an opinion, good or bad, it's not going to do anything to me. Like, I'm still standing here, walking down the street, minding my business.
I'm still alive.
So, exactly.
No, that's so true. And it takes a long time. It's a journey. It takes a while to get to that point. Just in general, with confidence, you know, like it's not easy to not care about what people think. I feel like, I don't know if we'll ever get to a point where we fully don't care what people think. But like, do you have any tips on how to get there?
Oh man, I think you can't overthink it. Like, the second you start like really running it through your head, if you don't have someone that's gonna like push you, like just really trying to combat those thoughts. So if in your head you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, ask yourself, why not? What's gonna happen? You know, like really like think through it. Like, the worst that can happen is someone says something. Okay, then what?
Then what?
Exactly.
That's so true. Like, if you think logically about it, what really is the worst that could happen?
Exactly.
But embarrassment, though, embarrassment is such a strong feeling. Like, I know that nowadays we say nothing is embarrassing, you know, like nothing is cringe, but it's like sometimes that emotion is just so overbearing.
I know.
That it's like, you know, but I think it's just beautiful what you're doing. And I like that you see it as a selfless act. Like, you're doing it not for the opinions of others, but you're doing it to help people. So it's like, of course you get your recognition and you get your admiration, but you also are helping people along the way. So I think that's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Keep doing what you're doing, because you are doing it. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kayra.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Girl, yes.
Appreciate you.
Oh my God, look what just fell.